And let me just show you how ridiculous this is here. Let's say you went and you asked the sheriff, pretty please, can I please buy a pistol now, sheriff? And he says yes, and then he says, but I need money, so you pay him money for it. You got your pistol, but you do not yet have your carry permit. This is how ridiculous it is. You can carry open all day long. Legal, right? But then wait. Illegal. Legal, illegal, legal, illegal. Do you think that a little shirt like this is gonna stop someone who's intent on violent crime? No, absolutely not. But you know who it stops? You know what it infringes on? Good people's rights to defend themselves. It's restricting millions of people and their ability to defend themselves and their family. Today we're going to talk about guns. And to do that, we got to go all the way back to when the Second Amendment is written in the summer of 1787. The Second Amendment's where you get your rights from, right? No, actually, you got your rights given to you by God. The creator of the universe, Jesus Christ, gave you thousands of rights, and one of those is the right to keep and bear arms. Now, why do we have a Second Amendment? Why is it in the Constitution? Well, this is a critical distinction. The Constitution was not written to give you rights that you already have. It was written to restrain the government, to give them limits of what they can and cannot do. And it's actually a very short list. You can look it up in Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. And it says exactly what Congress is allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. Now, in the founding of that Constitution, there was a good argument that we should not have a Bill of Rights. Why? Because how could you ever write out the thousands of rights that you have and has been given to you by God? You simply can't do it. And so instead, let's just write what the government can do, a short list, and everything else does not belong to the government. But they wanted a fail-safe. They wanted to say, we're going to have 10 really critical rights that we are going to explicitly enumerate. And one of them is the right to keep and bear arms. And that brings us here to North Carolina. So in North Carolina, when it's specifically talking about pistols, if you're going to purchase a pistol, what you have to do is you have to go to the sheriff and you have to purchase a pistol permit and also ask him for permission for the pistol. Pretty please, Mr. Sheriff, can I please have my rights back? Here's money to get my rights. Now, if you want to carry that said pistol concealed, you have to then go back to the sheriff, ask him permission, can I now carry that pistol concealed, and pay him more money. It is totally wrong. We should not have to buy our rights back from the government, something that we already have from God. It's a gift from God. They should not have to we should not have to pay them for it. And that, it's always been used as a tool for oppression. These laws, both the purchase permits and the carry permits, go all the way back 100 years ago, and it's rooted in racism. It literally is Jim Crow era laws designed to oppress black people. Now, I hate critical race theory. I hate cultural Marxism. It's communism and it's evil. But that should not prevent us from recognizing that certain laws are racist and were rooted in racism. And these pistol purchase permits and carry permits are racist and were originated in that. You can look it up. They've got to go. And by the way, like all of these oppressive laws, they usually start out oppressing a certain people groups, and then they grow and include more and more and more people groups. And now they include all people groups. So it's oppressing any people group is absolutely unconscionable, and we cannot do it. And these laws have got to be repealed. And if you don't think that it is not used as a political tools, when MLK's house was firebombed and he went to get a permit to buy a pistol to defend himself, guess what? The sheriff said no, because they had permitting laws. It is wrong and it's evil. Now, I've talked to a lot of sheriffs about this, and one of the things that they say is, well, we want to know who's carrying a gun. My response is, why? Why do they have a right to know who's carrying a gun? Why do they even want to know who's carrying a gun? You see, hundreds of thousands of North Carolinians are restricted and hampered from defending themselves because sheriffs want to know or have curiosity to know who's carrying or not. So their curiosity versus hundreds of thousands of people's rights, millions of people's rights to defend themselves. So another thing that some sheriffs have said is, well, we don't want bad or dangerous people from carrying guns. Well, let me ask you this. If someone is willing to go commit a crime, to go commit a violent crime, aren't they willing to defy a carry law? I mean, you can obtain guns. Just ask the ATF of what they did in Mexico, giving the cartels guns and stuff. There's ways to find restricted items. And if someone's willing to actually commit heinous and violent crimes, the pistol carry permit is nothing in the way of that. It's only restricting law-abiding citizens. And if you don't think that who a dangerous person is a sliding scale, or we already know that these laws are rooted in racism because they thought just by being black you were a dangerous person and should not be able to carry a gun. And so we don't want the government to be in the position to say this group of people can have a gun or this group of people cannot. Now, I want to make something really clear here too, is the Republican establishment has done nothing to push back on these infringements. All rights have already been infringed, and they're playing defense. They're trying to say, hey, let's just not lose more ground, or let's not lose more ground. And some of them even actually want you to lose more ground. Just because they're Republican does not mean that they actually stand for your God-given rights. But what we need to do is we need to reverse the script and actually gain ground. 21 states already have constitutional permitless carry in their state. Why is North Carolina not one of them? Why has our Republican legislatures not fought for us on our behalf when we've got 21 other states that are clearly fighting for their citizens' rights? We need someone who's going to go up there and stand up for us. It's been over 100 years that North Carolina has lived with these oppressive, racist pistol purchase permits and pistol carry permits. And so we must take action to gain that ground. And that's what I will do as your senator in Senate District 12. Now, I want to close with this. If you don't have a gun, go get one. Go get an AR-15. Go get a good pistol. You know, get the mags, get the ammo, get the training. Train. It has never been cheaper to buy a gun in America right now. You can get an AR-15 for like $400 with everything but lower parts kit. You can put it together And it's important because it is your rights, it is your self-defense, and it is a protection against tyrants. So I want to leave you with this too. Jesus Christ, our Lord, said, if you don't have a sword, go sell your cloak and buy one. I understand $500 to buy an AR-15 or a good pistol is a lot of money. But we got to look at how much it will actually cost if we lose our freedoms. And I guarantee you it is much, much, much more than $500. So sell your cloak, go buy a rifle, go buy a pistol, and train with it. And vote for me, David Buboltz, for North Carolina State Senate in Senate District 12. I will fight for your rights to keep and bear arms. We will start gaining ground. We will not back down 1 inch. Till next time.